Recently, I had a friend who's going to Chapman University for their undergrad, and I was surprised they were going there. They gave some weird reason why they were going to a private school, but um, I I think young kids these days need to examine their return on investment for going to college. I mean, they need to see if the expense is worth their return on going to some four-year colleges. Obviously, I'm a huge proponent of going to a junior college or community college for the first 2 years and then transferring to a good university. Most jobs never look at your first 2 years of education, first 2, 3 years of education. I found a nice website over here called the Chronicle of Higher Education where you can look at different schools. So I'm going to put in Chapman over here, and you can see that tuition in '98 was 20,000, but tuition today is 50,000. And if we go back to my Word doc, that friend of mine, if they go to 4 years of undergrad, that'll be $200,000, pretty much a small mortgage for a condo or a house out of state, out of California, and maybe it might take them 5 years. So if you examine going the route that I always suggest to all my nephews and nieces is to go to a junior college. One close by to me is Orange Coast College, and it's around $1,200 a year. I just Googled it. In state is 1,200. Even at out of state costs, it's much cheaper. But I'd always say go in state. You're saving money. And then imagine them transferring to a UC school, University of California, Irvine. And I did a Google search for that. That comes out to be about 11,500. So I'm just looking at tuition, not looking at room and board and other fees. A lot of kids want to just move out, and it's going to cost them $10,000 a year to move out. So it's a staggering amount of money to spend. And so when you do all the math, had it's not my niece, my friend, gone to OCC and transferred to UCI, they would have only paid $25,000, which is a lot of money for an undergrad, instead of spending $200,000 going to Chapman University. So the best way to look at it is to see how much you're going to make after graduating college and seeing if it's worth it to spend $200,000. If you can get a scholarship and grants, that's the caveat to my suggestion of going the other route. If you can get scholarships and grants for going to a private university like Chapman University, then do go. I mean, maybe it can be done affordably, but for sure, I know if you go the other route of a junior college and then transfer it to a good in-state university, you can save a lot of money. To put into perspective, I think my undergrad, this was living in on campus, cost me around $33,000 total with books and everything. And I thought that was way too expensive over 10 years ago. So that was for undergrad from a UC school. And then if you look at, I also got a graduate degree in MA in applied math, and that was even cheaper at around $8,000 to $10,000 for 2 years. And so I would say save your money on undergrad, and then you can save even more money getting a master's degree, which only costs 2 years from a in-state university. I went to Cal State Fullerton, so it was really cheap. So I did get a good return on my investment.